Hi there, my name is Lucy Walters and I play Pam. I was drawn to this project for several reasons. I just really was taken with Alexei and his vision. And of course, Elliot, Dr. Zeisel, is just as lovely as they come, just as lovely as he is on the series. But I think I was also just, in life I'm very interested in psychology and therapy and behavior, and obviously I'm an actor, and I guess I'm just interested in the blurring of the line between scripted and improv and just new ways of telling story. I think for me, probably the most fun part was the prep for it. So I had never done group therapy. I had done therapy, but I'd never done group therapy, and I was not familiar with the concept of it. And I fell in love with it in preparation for it. I mean, it sort of is, I feel like, every actor's dream in a way. So I just found the whole thing sort of interesting in a personal way, and really extra fascinating because there was this burden, not burden, but part of our job as an actor, right, is that we had certain beats that we had to get through in each one of these episodes. So we had set like what the conflicts were going to be, sort of what our roles were, but then within that we were trying to find real authenticity. So how each moment came to be, came to a head. All of that was improv, all of that was really organic, but we also knew that as a team we had sort of like a destination in mind. It was fascinating to sort of thread that needle, right, of being, well, I guess threading two needles, both being honest, authentic with what the real life person Lucy is experiencing, but also maintaining separation because Pam is different and Pam would react differently than Lucy would. So there's sort of like that needle to thread because I want it to be an experience, I want it to be authentic for Lucy, but also for Pam. So sort of like putting on that lens and feeling it in real time, but as somebody else. But then also sort of like staying with yourself, because that is the point of therapy and acting, right, is to be present and alive and engaged moment to moment to moment to moment, not be in your head planning where it's going. And yet part of our job, right, was to get to certain places, so that the story needed to go, that we'd all agreed upon. And so that was really sort of fascinating to watch. There was a moment where the character Ezra, Elliot Zeisel, the doctor, says to Pam, my character, you're really focused on the group right now. You're not really staying with yourself. You're not really, I forget what he says, but there's sort of like this, you're removed from the connection to yourself. He was like, maybe you just need to get a PhD in Pam, or says something to that effect. And I realized, oh, wow, that's fascinating because he's so right. Like I can tell, right, as a performer, I can tell when I am having real authentic moments that were just like, whoa, that hit me as a human. And when I can see just a little bit that I, as an actor, I'm not totally trusting that the story will go where the story needs to go, and I would feel myself like taking too much responsibility to have to like move plot along, and that's where I became like sort of less interested as an audience member. Like what was really compelling, and it's just fascinating to me because again, this is like the convergence of art and reality. Like I think the point of art and the point of acting and the point of like a really present actor and the point of like a really present human in group, right, is that you aren't thinking about the presentation, you're just staying truly connected to yourself. The experience watching it was fun. I mean, it was just sort of like a reunion with these people that we got quite close with and then never saw again. Not never saw again, but part of group is to maintain a bit of anonymity, so you don't hang out with them outside of it. And we stuck to that for the most part. But it was just really fun to sort of like see these people that I just really grew to love, was so fond of, and they were all so present and made themselves so emotionally available. There was just such beautiful, honest work happening. It was really moving. And I think especially now in this time, I find just I'm overloaded with, as we all are, bleak news. It's a weird time with the pandemic, and to see this kind of connection and this kind of love and this kind of, I don't know, therapy. Like, we all could choose some of that in our lives.